Well, hello there. Welcome in once again to another episode of Pickup Lines. It is still the talk show in a car, an air-conditioned car today, because it's like freezing the other day in San Antonio, as Judge Mary Lou Alvarez knows, and now you're in short sleeves and we're borderline sweating.
Just a little bit, yeah. It's
Welcome
warm.
To South Texas. It's good to have you here, by the way.
Thank you for having me.
And yes, you heard correctly, Judge Mary Lou Alvarez, 45th Civil District Court. You literally just got off the bench a short time ago.
I sure did, and I was running. To
literally,
get to you.
Running to get over here. Well, I appreciate it. So we'll work our way to present day, but as is typically the case with Pickup Lines, I like to start once upon a time and work our way up. You weren't born in San Antonio, right? But you got here as fast as you could.
That's right. I was born in Karnes City.
Karnes City.
Very, very far away. No, it's just like an hour and a half away. I was born in Karnes City, and we went to several small towns, and then we came to San Antonio in December of 1980 when my dad got a job at Kelly Air Force Base.
Okay. So I'm from Victoria, so I know of some small towns. What are some of the small towns that we
lived in?
Yeah.
So we lived in Caldwell. We lived
Sure.
in Tyler.
Yes.
And I think it was Sinton.
Okay. Yeah.
So those were those of my memory, not my independent memory because I was a baby.
Sure. There's small town life there. You know, it's definitely different. It's different than San Antonio, but was Karnes City where you spent the majority of your childhood, or where did you stay the longest, essentially?
No, so Karnes City is where I was born.
You were born in Karnes City.
And then I remember Caldwell a lot because I was in a parade with my brother, so I remember that. But the other towns...
Is that near College Station?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I went to A&M. I remember Caldwell, kind of that part of Texas.
Yes.
I get it, okay.
Off the freeway or highway or whatever it's called over there.
Blink a couple of times and you might miss it, everything.
you got to circle back, do a U-turn.
Right. So what was the family dynamic? You have siblings? You said dad came to Kelly, obviously, but what was the family like?
So my parents they just celebrated their 51st wedding anniversary.
Fantastic.
Yes.
They're still around.
They're still around.
Good for them.
They're still fighting for love. And I'm the oldest of three.
Okay.
I've got two younger brothers who one's a firefighter in Austin. The other has his business in Austin. He's a tumbling coach, and we're pretty close.
Firefighter, tumbling coach, and a judge.
Yeah, that's all over. Yeah.
It's like the start of a joke or something. They walk into a bar. I love it. I love the diversity. I read you're the daughter of a migrant worker. So which of your parents did that?
My
dad.
Both.
Your father did.
My dad did.
Where
yes.
Where in Karnes City, or where did he do that?
So he did cotton in East Texas, I think, or Upper West, and then he did strawberries in Michigan. So they would go to Michigan every year, and my dad's also a Vietnam vet, and
God
so
bless
even when he came after the war, I think he did one more season with his family, and then then he went to college at Lamar in Beaumont. My mom went to college in B County. I think she did one summer working, but it wasn't like my dad who did it seasonally.
And I've heard, and I've had people who have sat here with family members who've done that kind of work in the fields with just the punishing weather and everything, and it's just, I can't even imagine what that must have been like for your dad.
I can't either, but he is a hard worker, obviously, and so I'm a hard worker. I think my brothers are hard workers.
Yeah.
Making my kids be hard workers. So I think the work ethic is there.
No question about it.
It's honorable work. It's hard work, but it is honorable work.
All of the above, for sure. But it obviously worked out. So you came here to San Antonio and everything. You got here. How old were you when you came to San Antonio? And you said 1980?
In 1980. So I just turned 5, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kindergarten. So
all my schooling has been in San Antonio.
Okay.
So I did public school, kinder through 5th, and then I went to St. Paul's 6th through 8th, and then I went to Incarnate Word for high school.
Shamrock.
So
you're another Shamrock.
Another Shamrock
Ada Science was here the other day, and I've had a few Shamrocks in here. So that's another thing when I think back to, I talk about parents who sacrifice to put their kids through private school because it's not cheap.
It is not cheap, and it's a sacrifice. And I'm glad my parents did it, and I'm doing it for my children. I've got my daughter who just got admitted into Incarnate Word High School, so I'm very excited about that.
So the tradition continues.
The tradition will continue. So she's the first legacy. I'm really excited.
Good for you. So you have you said your daughter, is it Mari?
Mari,
and Javi.
And Javi.
So 2 kiddos.
Yes.
In the middle of all this judge stuff, you're a single mother.
I'm a single mother. But I live right across the street from my parents. So my parents are still my rock and my foundation.
It's great to have them so close, I would imagine.
Yes, but with the little asterisks, right? Like, so if we're coming home late, I'm getting the text like
looking
it's
through
11.
The blinds.
Yeah. Oh, my mom this morning was there at the doorway because my kids are in track, and so this was the first morning of early morning practice. We left the house at 6 a.m.
Yes.
So she was literally at the door, and then it's like calling me like, "Why are y'all outside so early?" And so yeah, no, it's great with the asterisks.
Now that I think about it, because my son runs track in high school as well,
Yes.
and I love my in-laws, and my mother passed away, but my dad, I love him, but I don't know if I'd want him across the street. Now that you put it that way.
There's a lot of checking in.
I bet there is, for better or for worse.
Right.
I bet there is. Oh my gosh, but that is fantastic that you have them in your life and everything. Okay, so Incarnate Word, and then when you were roaming the halls at Incarnate Word in your little shamrock gear and everything, were you thinking law? Was I want to be a judge one day, that kind of thing, or where was your head at the time?
I want to be a lawyer.
An attorney, okay.
I wanted to be an attorney, and I've been wanting to be an attorney for as long as I can remember. And I did engineering undergrad because I was really good at math and science.
Yes.
And I wanted to go 4 years of college and be able to have a job right away. And so I did engineering undergrad at Stanford, and I worked for 2 years, and then I went to law school in New Jersey.
You literally went on opposite sides of the country, right? Stanford in California, and you go to Ivy League school, in the Northeast coast and everything. But when you left to go to Stanford, was that hard for you to leave San Antonio and leave your parents?
Yes. And my brother is 11 months younger than I am. Okay. So we've spent, up until that point, we had spent every class year together.
Very close.
And so it's hard to leave him. It was hard to leave my baby brother and of course my parents, but I wouldn't change it. It was amazing. It was amazing to be at Stanford. It was amazing to get adjusted to a new culture, a new part of the country, and just appreciating how different and similar we are. And it's nice because there's some Stanford alum here in San Antonio. Yes. And so to reconnect after decades, you always have a home, kind of like going to Catholic school, right? When you find your friends after decades, you kind of have a home with the friendships from years past.
I get it. Okay. I think, was it Julian Castro? Right off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of locals with ties to Stanford.
Yes, so Juliana and Joaquin were there 2 years ahead of me, along with Mercedes Cisneros.
Okay.
In my year, Nick Gonzalez, who is now a pretty famous actor, was there.
Nick went to Central Catholic.
Went to Central Catholic.
Yes. He was just on a Super Bowl ad I saw not so long ago. That guy.
Small world.
That guy. I need to get him in the car, by the way. I'm working on it. All right. Well, listen, we're just getting started here. Judge Mary Lou Alvarez, who might be the only judge I've ever met, by the way, who has her own coloring book, and we're going to talk about this here in just a little bit and have much more on pickup lines when we come back. Don't go away. We continue on here with Judge Mary Lou Alvarez, 45th Civil District Court. And again, we'll get to, yes, her own coloring book, which we'll get to here in just a little bit. But we were talking about your time in college. You went to Stanford, then you went across the country to, to Seton Hall and Stanford. You were in the New York, New Jersey area on 9/11 for college.
I was. We're for law school.
For law school, I should say.
For law school, yes. That was the fall of my second year.
Obviously 2001. And I can't even imagine, I mean, I was working in TV at the time, but what, to be there that close when that's happening with the airplanes and everything, I can't even imagine what that must have been like.
It was shocking. And, it started, I don't know, everybody tells like where were you? Yes. I was driving to law school, right? Because I had spent my first year living close to Seton Hall. My second year, I had moved in with a high school friend, actually, who was in New Jersey. And I was driving in, and the news was coming. I mean, the DJs were talking about it, and at first it was just like, oh, how could this have happened? Somebody must have been drunk, right? And then very quickly it turned from a joke to this is real. This really happened.
Yeah.
And by the time I got to law school, everything essentially was shut down.
Yeah.
There were no classes going on. Everybody was in the cafeteria or in the library or down in the foyer trying to figure out what was going to happen. A friend of mine and I went outside because we were right across the river. So we sat on the corner just watching essentially the buildings collapsed.
That's just terrible.
And it was incredible. Everything kind of slowed down, and just the loss of life was just permeating throughout the whole region. But it was fascinating to be there in that everybody rallied around together. And it was what it was, right?
And hard to believe that later this year will be 25 years since. I mean, that just blows my mind when you think about that. But and I mean, I remember it was a Tuesday, and
it feels like yesterday.
You remember
right?
where you were and everything like that, and we could do a whole episode probably on that. But you got through all that. Obviously, when you were in law school, was the plan always to come back to San Antonio?
Definitely my mom's plan. Yeah. Right. So she was doing plenty of rosaries
and across the street too.
Yes. And she was and I wound up right across the street from her. But yes, it was always my plan to come home. Yes. I just didn't know when. Okay. But I love San Antonio. It's the best place that I know to raise my kids and to be close to my parents. Yeah. I wish my brothers were here, but they're never leaving Austin. So,
fine.
not too far.
It can always be worse.
It could always
They
be
could
worse.
always be a lot further away. So you talk about your kiddos and everything, and I mean, that's a story in and of itself, just the fact that you're able to do what you do and that work-life balance and everything. But having kids was always something that was very important to you.
Absolutely. It was, and like I said before, I wanted to be a mother more than I wanted to be a spouse, which is a little non-traditional for a firstborn Mexican-American daughter.
Fine, but I give you credit for being forthcoming about that.
Right.
Because you knew exactly what you wanted and you found a way to do it.
I am so happy being a mom. I know that sounds a little trite, but they are hilarious and they're joyful 99% of the time. I'm not trying to be a Pollyanna, and I've got a 13-year-old who has, the saying, you want to raise strong girls until you're trying to parent them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I have 2 daughters myself.
Oh well, there exactly.
I have twins.
That's the gray hair.
Oh yeah, look, one for each twin, and this is my oldest in the middle right here. No, we love them, and we could not imagine our lives without them. But yes, raising parents. As I told my wife this the other day, being a teenager in 2026. I wouldn't want to be a teenager in 2026.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough to navigate.
Goodness gracious.
It's tough to navigate. And my son's preteen, and he's leaning into the preteen stage.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it 1,000%. Is there any such thing as a normal schedule for you in this line of work, being a judge? Are you essentially on call all the time? It's never like 8 to 5, is it? 9 to 5 type stuff?
No, it's not. But there is never a boring day. Yeah. I'll say that. There's never a boring day. So I'm a civil district court judge. So I preside over things that are not criminal.
Right.
So a lot of family cases, a lot of personal injury, contract disputes, business dissolutions, that sort of thing. Our dockets on the civil side start at 8:30.
Okay.
And then 9 o'clock is an evidentiary docket, and the cases kind of come out of presiding and monitoring courts, which are our central dockets.
Right.
So I'm on call to our presiding court judge or to our monitoring court judge. And then in between that, I'm doing status hearings on cases that I've heard. Summary judgment hearings are now in the individual court of origin.
Okay.
And so we're navigating a lot.
Spinning plates, as I like to say in my life.
Plates.
But you love it.
I do. And I love being a lawyer. I will say that. I spent 15
because you're literally
years,
on the other side of the bench now.
I'm on the other side of the bench. So it took me a while to stop loving being a lawyer because I love being a lawyer so much. 15 years of litigating and advocating, and I spent the majority of those years at Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid. So, I mean, that was service in and of itself.
Yeah.
But I loved representing victims of domestic violence or survivors of domestic violence as they navigated their family law disputes, right? Because you've got to... Family law is so incredible because it's not static, right? It's dynamic as the litigants and the children involved. And
gotta be some heartbreaking stuff, though, I would think sometimes, especially when kids are involved.
It is.
Yeah.
And it can be, but I don't let it stay there. Because I think if we do it right, collectively as a society, if we do it right and help the adults get to a better place, past their broken relationship, past their heartbreak, past their challenges, then we set the stage for the children to have a much better life than they would otherwise.
Right.
And I think that is what really that's my passion, right? Is to make sure that the children have a better life ahead of them than they did behind them.
I mean, too many times we report on the news about, things and situations involving young children where there's really nobody to advocate for them, or it's just a terrible situation at home. And you just, sometimes you never hear about what happens to those kids after the media coverage is over, or after the judge has made a ruling, whatever the case may be.
Come back to the courthouse. We know.
No, I bet you do. I bet you do. But so you can leave that there and not take that home with you?
Well, of course. The answer is it depends.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I do work very hard to shield my children from what troubles me at work. I will say that. To varying degrees of success. But I try really hard to make sure that work stays at work.
Yeah.
And I have time and space and energy to devote to my children because I'm their only parent.
Got it. Fair enough. Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to stop right there. I haven't forgotten about the coloring book. We'll come right back and talk to Judge Mary Lou Alvarez about her book and what this is all about, how this came to be, and more on Pickup Lines. So don't go away. Few more minutes here with Judge Mary Lou Alvarez, the 45th Civil District Court, and I guess we can say coloring book author, correct?
Enthusiast.
Yes. Again, yes. Courthouse Adventure book by Judge Mary Lou Alvarez. This is yours.
Yes, and I will say my friend and consultant on the project, Robert Vargas, helped me with that. So when I say yes, it's mine,
right,
but I had help. I didn't do it by myself.
I might want a copy for myself, just because there's you can learn about different things in here. There's fun facts about Bexar County, about the Bexar County Courthouse and everything. How did this come to be? How did it happen?
So Senator Menendez actually does a book like this for the state capitol. And my friend Robert was working at the Capitol at the time, and we were just talking, and he's like, the judiciary should do something like this too. Right. And I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's do it. And we did it, and it's been well received. I do a lot of career days. I love talking to children. Right. I've joked with some people. I did a chambers conference last week, and I told the child, I was like, I actually enjoy spending time with children sometimes more than I enjoy spending time with adults. Right. Because they're so hopeful. They're so innocent. So we did this so that way children would get to know about their courthouse and about the court system, like an introductory, don't be afraid of the courthouse kind of thing. Right. And it's educational. Some fun facts about Bexar County. Even some of the teachers and adults who pick it up appreciate the fun facts about Bexar County. The civil district courts operate from the longest running, oldest courthouse in the country. So there are other courthouses that may be older, but they haven't been longest running. I see. Okay. Because I was about to ask you, what's a fun fact about the Bexar County Courthouse? And I think you just took care of that. So where can people get this? At the courthouse. Okay, just come to the courthouse. So come to the 45th District Court. You can also download it on my website if you want to just print it out at judgealvarez.com. Very good. Just click on the link, press print, and you've got your pages. Very good. All right. So I don't know how much you've thought about the future, or how long, what is the typical life term for a judge, if you will, before you decide to move on to something else. Do you have a bucket list or something else you want to do? How much longer do you want to do this? What a great question. I want to be of service, right? I think there are some people who think they find their life's fulfillment in making money or doing a particular project, architects, life fulfillment in developing buildings. Right. My life purpose is to serve my community. And like I said, I love San Antonio. Yeah. This is home. I want the community and the world to be a better place for my children. Okay. So my goals are to continue being of service, however that may be. And that right now, as far as the serving as a judge, right, our terms are 4 years at a time. Right. Is there something about you that might surprise you? I asked somebody the other day if they had like a fun talent or something, and Commissioner Rodriguez told me that he was a juggler, that he could juggle, which blew my mind. So I didn't know, do you have something, a fun fact or a little trivia tidbit or something about you that might surprise some people? Do you juggle? I do not juggle, but it's funny. I saw that and I wanted to juggle. I tried to learn how to juggle. A good friend of mine's father, who happened to be the first lawyer I ever met in my life,
Yeah.
he juggles.
Okay.
So it's a hidden talent among some really great people.
Guess. Some successful people.
Some successful people. Something that's surprising about me, I love to watch TV, actually.
Okay.
So I could be on the couch for hours at a time watching TV.
Current stuff or old school or
both.
Okay.
Right now, my children and I are watching the season again from beginning to end of Blackish.
Okay.
We've done it once, and now we just happened to start doing it again. I know people are going to frown at me, but we've done it with Schitt's Creek. I love that show, and so my kids liked it too. They didn't get all the humor, but they got some of it, and obviously led to some conversations that probably were ahead of the times.
Do you have a favorite drama, since you are in the world of law and a judge? Do you have a past or present fictional judge or a TV show or a movie that just got it right and you really loved that?
Well, got it right. It was entertaining. The Good Wife, right? Like I really like The Good Wife. There's one series that has been recommended to me over and over again, but I haven't gotten a chance to watch it.
Okay.
About a judge, but I haven't.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I tend to watch. I love to watch. I'm a child of the '80s, so I like to watch those old school shows. And I'm going to age myself completely, but I don't care. I used to watch Matlock, and like the old, not the current Matlock, by the way, with Kathy Bates, Andy Griffith. Those old attorney shows, and Perry Mason way back in the day. Those kinds of things.
Super slow talkers, especially when they were going to make a point.
Yes. And they wrapped it all up in 60 minutes with commercials. It's amazing how they did it.
It was wonderful. Yes.
And they hardly ever lose a case. It's amazing.
And the judge did nothing. They just sat there.
Or reprimand. They would reprimand the attorneys and everything. It's fascinating stuff. And so if one of your kids comes up to you, Mari or Javi, and said, "Mom, I want to be like you, want to be a judge one day, be an attorney," would you be all in on that? Or would you be like, oh?
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm all in. But I tell them first, you're going to be better than me. Right? Because every generation has to get better. So they already know they're going to be better than me. And I would love it. That's a dream. There are some lawyers here that are practicing with their children.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell them, I was like, you're living one of my dreams. I would love to practice with my children.
That is one thing about San Antonio. We had this conversation about car dealers too, and other industries where you have multi-generations that have come and maybe you saw them on TV commercials growing up, and now it's their kids doing the commercials.
Yes, like Becky.
Whatever the case may be.
Yes, and I would love that.
And here we are. All right. And you'll go sit in the courtroom and watch one or both of them.
Well, I'll probably be their co-counsel, and they'll be sending me notes to be quiet. All right. No, Mom, I've got it. It's my turn, Mom. Be quiet.
Yes, you had your shot. Everything. But they can always get free legal advice from you and everything, whatever the case may be. Well, this has been fascinating. Like I said, I think you might be the only judge I've ever met that has done her own coloring book, and you can come to the courthouse and get this 45th Civil District Court. It's a thankless job, I know, sometimes, and you're all over the place, and to be a single mom on top of that, I salute you. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
There you have it, Judge Mary Lou Alvarez. I was going to say come see her, but don't get in any trouble and end up in her court.
Just come visit. Come visit to observe. You're always welcome.
Fair enough. Okay, Judge Mary Lou Alvarez, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, there's another episode of Pickup Lines. We'll do it again very soon. You never know who will be in the car or what they're going to bring with them. I hardly know sometimes, and I do the show myself. Until next time, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ernie Zinigo. We'll see you. Bye for now.
Bye.